Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your June bonus reading. We're just going to jump right in here, and we're going to do a Celtic cross for this June bonus reading, and that's going to be that. So let's get started. Definitely thinking about money, which doesn't surprise me. And I also think that the Four of Pentacles also doesn't surprise me. Coming up as far as like what to do about your financial situation if you're like hoping to grow or make more money. So what I would say here is that if you want to make more money, I would try something different. I know it's obvious, but this is saying, you know, again, to me, tarot is not a prison sentence, as I always say, right? Tarot does not control your life. It can't control your life, can't tell you what to do. It can't do anything for you either. And that's why I always say, like, you know, this reading, it's just loose guidance at best, right? But what it is saying is it's saying if you're trying to improve your financial situation, you got to do something new. So it's like maybe that's a clue that you need to find a new job. Maybe it's a clue that you need to make a change in your business or do things differently. I don't know. We're going to find out. Right now, I feel you're hoping and praying for blessings, Cancer. The Four of Swords, he's receiving blessings right here. There's a person, I should say, who's receiving blessings in this stained glass window. And it's like he's kind of like hoping and praying that he will receive some blessings in the future. It could be anything. It could be financial. It could be love. It could be all sorts of things. But it's kind of like he's hoping and praying for these blessings. And you have this Six of Cups as your crossing energy. It kind of tells me two things. Number one, it tells me you could be praying and hoping for a turnaround. The Six of Cups is like a gift from the universe, and usually the gift we receive when it is a gift from the universe is a turnaround, meaning we've been bumping up against an obstacle, Eight of Swords in your reading. So maybe we've been bumping up against a wall and we can't get around it. And the Six of Cups, when it comes in like as a gift, we maybe find a way around the wall. Maybe someone shows up in our life that shows us a way around the wall. We learn something that helps us overcome the obstacle or whatever. So it's like the guidance, I feel, as crossing energy. It's kind of like it's not showing up, right? The other thing is I would be careful of staying stuck to the past. Obviously, when this comes up in in a challenging position, like a crossing position, I feel like it's saying that you could be holding on to the past, or you could be thinking about the way things used to be. And really, it's not very helpful. Again, like, I want to encourage people to think abundantly. And I know that's very, very challenging, right? When we have things like, like what's going on in the world, right? Like inflation and like all these other issues, gas prices and everything like that. But one of my favorite books of all time, The Science of Getting Rich, I listen to it all the time, basically. And it's one of my favorite books. It keeps me motivated during times like this. And they, in that book, the author basically says, when things like this are happening, it's like it doesn't matter. There will always be more. You will always create more. So it's like when you have that mentality that, it doesn't matter how much the prices are, I will always make more. Then you kind of develop the, true abundance mentality. And again, we're not going to fix anything by fighting against it. We're not going to fix anything by fighting inflation, by fighting, the US dollar, which is controlled by, the secret government or whatever, right? Trust me, I'm a crazy person. I believe in all that, right? But I stopped focusing on it years ago because it's like, really, I can't do anything about it. What I can do is I can control my own thoughts. The interesting thing is in the area of your thoughts, you have the Ten of Pentacles. It's like you're trying to build something permanent. You're trying to build something successful in your life, not just a relationship, but, Ten of Pentacles is having it all. It's like everything you desire to have in your life. So I feel like you're very focused on kind of creating abundance for yourself. And this really tells me your thoughts are in the right direction. I just think maybe every once in a while, a kind of a thought creeps in where you're like, oh my God, inflation. Oh my God, the gas prices and all this other stuff. And again, I'm not saying these aren't real world concerns, but what I am saying is when you have the thought, correct it, right? And bring it back to abundance with the Ten of Pentacles. I feel by doing that you're going to discover a lot of solutions to your problems. And again, as someone who has done it, I want to help. I do this for free. As I always tell people, it's like, I know maybe I should charge prices because then people would actually do it. But, I always tell people, it's like, I do this for free for a reason because I did it. I was like, I was there. I was miserable, stuck, poor, everything. You know what I mean? I've been there. And, that's why I do this because, as someone who, I have a traumatic brain injury. I fell on my head when I was 10 years old, right? If I can do it, you can do it. And, that's why I say this stuff, because I truly believe that's what changed my life, is just my thinking. In the area of your foundation, you have the Queen of Swords. Again, you are kind of thinking for the future. I feel you're very clear-minded at this time as well. And again, this is your June bonus reading, but it's really a timeless reading. So it's for whenever you find it. And I feel like you are, whenever you're watching this, and I do feel, for whatever reason, that most of the time when I do these timeless readings, people watch them at the time. If you're watching this in the future, then I feel right now, whenever you're watching it, doesn't matter, it could be years from when I published it, I feel like you're seeing things very clearly right now. I feel like you're kind of like seeing the future. It's like you have this plan in your head of what you need to do. I think that letting go of the past right here, Four of Pentacles, is kind of like the most important, is maybe the hardest thing that you could be doing. Again, Four of Pentacles, holding on to earth, right? It's like, yeah, we have all these concerns, issues, and worries going on in the world, right? And it's like, so it's very real. Four of Pentacles is very real. The Two of Swords is something that could be, right? It could be in the area of your past. You have the Seven of Cups. It could be in your imagination. So that Two of Swords that we see up here, I'm going to show you in just a minute, that could be something in your imagination. And what I'm talking about is she has a new island behind her, and that she needs to go to that new island, but she might be thinking, should I leave where I am right now? Where I am like the most secure I can be, or is there something new on that new island? She needs to go to the new island. I feel like you're kind of moving past weighing your options with the Seven of Cups. I feel like you're moving past thinking about all the things that could go wrong by, leaving one job, going to another, leaving one relationship, going to another, whatever change you're trying to make here. You have in the near future, you have the Four of Pentacles. So again, still holding on a little bit to what is real. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, Cancer, right? We can't ignore reality necessarily. I'm a big fan of ignoring. Well, actually, I totally ignore reality, but what I would say is that we can't ignore it. Obviously, you're still gonna have to pay bills. You're still gonna have to do all those things. But I feel like the Four of Pentacles is saying maybe you're starting to loosen up. My thing about the Four of Pentacles is that his head and his heart are one. And again, one of my favorite people of all time, Greg Braden, says, when your head and your heart become one, you can move mountains. He talks about brain-heart coherence. And, we see that here. I feel for some of you, it's like when you get these two things in alignment, you will be able to remove pretty much any obstacle that's in your way. Over the next few months, you have the Eight of Swords, looking for new solutions. When we clarify in just a minute, it would not surprise me if the Nine of Wands shows up. For example, Nine of Wands is my card of experimentation, and I feel like that's going to get you out of this Eight of Swords energy. But also, Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction, right? I always tell people, it's like, maybe we are entering into a recession, which I think is weighing heavily on people's minds, right? Maybe we're entering into a negative cycle, but it's like more millionaires and billionaires are created every single recession. It's like, why not be one of them, right? And so I feel like for some of you, it's like you could be feeling stuck by your circumstances, but I feel like you just need to look at the circumstances and say, what can I do with this? She's not actually stuck. She could easily set herself free. Maybe she's just missing education. Maybe she just needs to learn, right, what to do during these times. And that's what I feel you should do here. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the King of Pentacles. A lot of security, a lot of safety, a lot of good things going on for you as far as your relationships are concerned. So I feel like there's a lot of security there. Could also be love coming in. Could be a Taurus. You have the Hierophant and the King of Pentacles here. So, both cards represent Taurus. If you're looking for love, I feel like there could be a Taurus coming in for you. Definitely someone very stable. I feel like this person's very balanced as well. I don't really look at the King of... Well, he is pretty balanced, but, I don't really look at him as completely balanced. But I do feel that for you here, Cancer, where it's like there could be a person who's very balanced, in life, who is kind of very focused. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Two of Swords. Do I stay or do I go? It's like she's not looking at anything. She's kind of staying stuck where she is. She needs to get to this island behind her, but she's afraid of getting hurt by these rocks right here, and she's trying to protect her heart. But if she just took her blindfold off, just like the Eight of Swords, on the Eight of Swords, that lady could lean up against those swords, and she could set herself free, and then she could take her blindfold off, and she could just step forward. Same thing. It's like she could put her swords down. There's no one around her. There's no one in front of her. She doesn't need to defend herself, and she could turn around and go to the new island. It's low tide. The water is out. That's why those rocks are exposed. And she could easily walk over to where she wants to be. In your outcome position, you have the Hierophant. Could be marriage if you're looking for love, by the way. But I also feel that this could be education. I feel like education is going to be your best friend. And I feel like learning as much as you can about the things that you're doing is also going to be your best friend. I would learn as much as you can about, anything that you're looking to improve, or Ten of Pentacles, anything that you want permanently in your life. King of Pentacles, same thing. Ten of Pentacles, King of Pentacles are cards of permanence. They're cards of, the things that we want forever. And that's what I'd be learning about with this Hierophant energy. So let's clarify this, Cancer. And let's see where where this is going. I'm just butterfingers, and it's also like 900 degrees down here today. So that's not different than any other day in the summer. But let's see what we get for you here, Cancer. With the Four of Swords and the Six of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups, a wish fulfillment, happiness. Again, he is choosing how he feels. The whole point of the Nine of Cups is that he's meant to look chubby. He's about to have a feast. And the whole point of it is that he's about to have another feast. He's about to be fulfilled again. He's experienced fulfillment before, so he's about to experience it again. It kind of represents the fact that if we bathe in an energy, if we want love, we need to experience love before we can have love. If we want money, we need to experience money before we can have money. And he knows that he needs to bathe in that energy. He needs to, even if he doesn't have it, he needs to express abundance, even if he doesn't have it. Even if he doesn't have it, he needs to express love, even if he doesn't have it. So I feel anything you can do to express the things that you want would be very beneficial. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Cups. There you go. Your emotions overflowing. A lot of happiness coming in for you. I definitely feel a love offer coming in for you. And it feels very stable, very serious. And again, I keep getting something about balance. Like I feel like whoever's coming in for you, really doesn't matter what sign it is. I feel the thing that will stand out the most is the fact that they're very, I feel like it's someone who's very balanced. I feel like they take a very balanced view of the world. And I feel like they're popping into my head as like someone who really takes in information. I almost feel like they're maybe, if they're learning something new, or if someone is kind of coming at them with an opinion, I really feel like they take in all the information and then they respond. It's almost like they're a person who really kind of chews on things, really explores something before they have a response. They're not reactive, right? And that's the thing that I think will stand out to you if it's love. For others, I feel like you're just finding fulfillment. This is a good reading. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Two of Cups, love coming in for you. Two of Cups is a soulmate. It's someone who you can trust, someone you can have deep conversation with as well. So, love it. Not much to say there, really good. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Moon. You have fears, again, needing to kind of, there's a path straight down the middle on the Moon, and it kind of represents the fact that you just have to keep moving through the time of fear, right? But it's an illusion on the Moon as well. So if you're having fears about money, inflation, love, whatever, then I would let those fears go and keep moving forward. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card of success and abundance. It's also a card of freedom, so that's amazing because the Eight of Swords is a card of prison, and it's almost like you're setting yourself free from prison with the Eight of Swords. So I like to see that. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Page of Pentacles. Communication. I definitely feel there's communication now coming in clearly from a person. Could be an earth sign coming in for you. I feel you'll be very happy about it. I feel like it's something that is very fulfilling as well. I love it. Looks really amazing if it's love. I also feel you're increasing your finances, clearly. Again, one thing I would like to say about this Moon here in the Four of Pentacles is it reminds me, like, I used to work with businesses a lot. I still do, but a lot more. And it's funny because, like, I always noticed, like, there'd be some businesses that were worried about, like, who was in an office, what law was being passed about inflation or about taxes and, like, all this other stuff. And then there'd be other people who just didn't care. They just got to work. It's like the people who worried, they got nowhere. The people who just got to work, did what they had to do, very successful. No matter who was in office, didn't matter what laws were being passed, none of that. They always made more money if like tax laws were passed or whatever. So it's like they were solution oriented. They weren't like worry warts, And I feel like this reading is talking about that in all areas of your life. See, look, with the Nine of Swords, you have with the Two of Swords, you have the Nine of Swords. Nightmares, having a nightmare and being stuck in a nightmare. Like I said, we shouldn't ignore reality. I feel like we are kind of like in a little bit of a nightmare, but it's like, what can we do to make it better, right? And I think that's what we need to focus on. It's like the more people that keep focusing on the nightmare, the more of a nightmare we're going to get. That's why I keep encouraging people to go the other direction. Like as a collective, I feel like we shouldn't be fighting against it. We need to kind of like create abundance and focus on other things. And again, I'm not saying we're ignoring reality, but again, we have to do what we can. And with the Hierophant, you have the Page of Cups, definitely an admirer coming in for you. This could be love coming in for you. So again, if you're looking for love, this is amazing. I definitely feel there could be new love coming in for you. Something very fulfilling, something that makes you very happy, and kind of like something you've been waiting for. This card, he also has this fish in this cup, and the fish kind of represents your imagination. He might be imagining it. We don't know. So he might be imagining that fish. And I feel like you need to kind of grab on to your fish. I feel like you need to make it happen with that Page of Cups. This is very good. Love it. Plain and simple. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff coming in for you here. I want to see what this card is. You have this October card. If I'm being honest, I just pulled it because this is a month card and the rest of them kind of look like this, right? It caught my eye. So there could be a change in October, something happening for you in October. We have the Mars retrograde in October as well. We have a lot of stuff, actually. Jupiter goes retrograde as well. Tons of stuff happening. So that could be an interesting time for you, but this is a pretty good reading. I feel like there's good stuff coming in for you as long as you focus on the right stuff, right? And could be love that leads to marriage. So this is amazing. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.